All right, good to go.
All right. And Gene Sosnovitz, put yourself on mute, please. Thank you. Okay, so we will come out of executive session at 7:56 and state that no motions or actions were taken in executive session. And we'll move on to item number 8. Item number 8 is discussion and take possible action regarding Seymour WPCA. So at this point, I will entertain a motion to refer to the Ordinance Committee a request from the Board of Selectmen to draft a Water Pollution Control Authority ordinance in accordance with 7-246 of the Connecticut General Statutes. Rich, is that an appropriate motion?
Yes, it is, Mr. First Selectman.
All right, so can I have someone, Anne Marie? And is there a second to that motion? Al Bruno? Is there any discussion? Okay, just under discussion, this will be forwarded to the Ordinance Committee. The next Ordinance Committee meeting will be 2 weeks from this evening, and we will have all of the appropriate information filed. So hearing no other comments, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, chair votes aye, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 9, as discussed with Attorney Baterla, we will be taking no action on number 9. We'll move on to item number 10, discussion, take possible action regarding Eversource. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to authorize the town of Seymour to seek party status in the PURA procedure involving Eversource storm response.
So moved.
Rich, is that appropriate? Wait, hold on. Let's make sure it's appropriate.
The PURA proceeding.
PURA proceeding. Okay. PURA proceeding involving Eversource storm response. So I stand corrected on that. So motion.
So
I
moved.
think, all right, Chris Bowen made the motion. Bob Finley seconded. Under discussion. Anything for anyone? No? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Rich, thank you for your guidance on both those issues.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Item number 11 is appointments. We have no appointments before us this evening. Item number 12, tax refunds and abatements. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the tax collector's report dated September 1st, 2020, as presented by Dana Flock, our tax collector. Motion by Anne Marie, second by Al. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 13, transfers. Just kind of as a point of order, we did this transfer last week, or last meeting, I should say. This was the cleanup for the MERS funding. So again, we don't need to do anything with that. Item number 14 is correspondence. So the only piece of correspondence that we have before you tonight are the check registers. And I just want you to make reference, they look different. There's 2 different check registers. The style that you're used to is fiscal year 20. The style that you're not is fiscal year 21. That's the new system. Okay, so that's the difference. So this is what it's going to look like going forward. System is extremely different than what you've seen in the past. It has a lot more capabilities and a lot more functions. So that's just what that is. So item number 15 is public comment. Rory, have we received any public comment since the start of the meeting?
We have not.
We have not. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 16, Selectmen's public comments, and we will start again as you appear on my screen with the upper left-hand corner, and we will start with Anne Marie.
Okay, just a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to give I don't want to call it a shout out, to our fire department, our ambulance, and our surrounding towns for the mutual aid for the fire on Saturday. If it was not for the swift work, quick work of the Seymour Fire Department and our surrounding towns and the mutual aid, there was a good possibility we could have lost that whole block. It was unfortunate for the 20 families that were displaced, but Tim Willis was right there calling the Red Cross in, and the Red Cross was able to get them set up. Food and water was brought out to them. And I just could not thank the heat for the fire department. The heat and the amount of people that were involved was unbelievable, unbelievable. And we're lucky they were able to save that whole entire block. It could have been a lot worse, especially with those older buildings and in the roofs that they have. So just a big shout out. Our fire department has been pushed to the limit in 2020, as has our ambulance. And they deserve a big round of applause, basically. You know, our department is volunteer. And for those guys to leave their families to do what they do, we're very thankful we have the departments we have and the leaders that we have leading them.
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
Another thing is, I spoke to Alex Stanka regarding the land trust, and he was thinking about doing a holiday show. You know, they normally do the Halloween Trail of Terror, not really its name, but that's what the name I call it because it's scary. But they were thinking about doing a holiday one, which isn't really a bad idea. There's still a way that you could distance people and have people go through and look at it. So I wanted to bring that up and get that out there, have the selectmen start thinking about that, maybe giving Alex some hands on it, coming up with some ideas.
Yeah, I've talked to Alex a little bit about it. You know, he's planning another fireworks show, I think, to go and kind of go along with that. And if you look at what Alex, you know, the last year's show, unfortunately, was not what it was supposed to be. They didn't bring the right fireworks. And I think anybody who was there thought the show was absolutely fantastic. So I'd hate to see what the actual show would have been like. So, but I think he is planning some type of big thing. So it sounds like Anne-Marie has volunteered to assist Alex with that. So Anne-Marie, I will pass that on to him, that you will, you're looking forward to helping him get that going for the holiday season. Thank you very much. And anybody else who wants to help, please let me know.
Sure.
And there it is, Anne-Marie, you're on a camera.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm sure Alex would be thrilled to have the help.
In all seriousness, I would gladly help Alex in that. It's great that he wants to give back to the community the way they give back. Also, a big shout out to Public Works again for this latest round of storms that we had. Tony and his guys were out there clearing roads, making sure roads are passable, making sure people can get home. With the trash pickup also, curbside pickup and transfer issues, the Public Works is addressing a lot of issues, and I wanted to bring it up to the Board of Selectmen. There's been a lot of talk on the Seymour Moms webpage, or Facebook page, I should say, with broken containers, trash not being picked up, some issues we're having at the transfer station. And the Public Works Board is on top of it. They are speaking with it. Tony's constantly having emails, conversations going back with the Oak Ridge. So he is on top of all that. And just let you know that the WPCA received a letter from the Naugatuck Valley COG in regarding the regionalization. So they're still looking at doing that. I just want to bring the Board of Selectmen up to date on that.
Yes. Excellent.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Continuing down the line, Trish Danka. Surprise.
Hi.
Hi.
Anne-Marie, thanks for helping Alex. I know he will appreciate it. I'm sure you will work with him better than I do because I just yell and correct, but feel free to do the same. Just want to point out that there's a, just going back to where we were dealing with Pura and all, River Road, I've driven by the last 2 days, and there's a very large branch that's leaning on a wire. I don't know if the town's aware of that and has called to have it removed or what's going on, but before something happens with them.
Yes, those wires were noticed. They've been reported. Those wires only feed streetlights. So if they go down, we'll just lose streetlights. No one will lose power. So it is not a priority to Eversource. So we'll see how long it takes them to address a non-priority branch.
And while you're saying that, and while we were talking about that, I was just thinking, you know, we're making these phone calls to Eversource. If we do want, I think it would be really wise if we start tracking. I know this is another lovely thing that the first selectman's office could do, but if someone could track like when we're making calls for what issues and how long it's taking them to clear, and that way we have kind of a solid paper trail to refer back to, as if we really want to make the statement the response is getting worse or it's not getting any better. I mean, let's have some data to back that up with.
Tommy and Tony DePrimo do that. So we do
Okay.
have that. Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
And that is all that I have. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Trish. Bob Finley.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I did want to shout out to the fire department and the ambulance and the first responders there for the fire, as well as the accident that was on 313, which was pretty bad. You know, this last month has been pretty busy for them. Probably the whole year has been busy, but this last month has been pretty busy for them. And, you know, I've been very happy with their responses, and, you know, can't thank them enough for all they do for us. So just want to make sure they're aware.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bob. Chris Bowen.
Seconding with everyone else, my sincere thanks for everything that the fire department has done for 2020, because it's hard to forget that it was only a couple months ago when they were doing daily parades for kids so that they could feel special on their birthday. You know, Anne-Marie, I know Chris is on Great Hill, so for your husband's on fire department, right? Yeah.
He is, yes.
Okay, right.
Not my husband, but Anne-Marie's husband, yes.
That's what I said. But yeah, just thank you for everything. You guys have been on top of everything that we've asked and then some. I also want to thank Team for helping all the families that were displaced during this. And I want to say one of the things that I love about this community is I talked to a few of the people that were displaced, who had literally just been made homeless effectively by this fire that occurred on Saturday. And a common thing that I heard from people was, make sure you take care of this guy. Make sure you take care of that person. Make sure this family is taken care of. So people that were made homeless, the number one concern was somebody else. And when I hear people look me in the eye and say that, I get a little emotional, because this is just what is so great about this town. It truly is. That during a traumatic event, people are still worried about someone else. And everyone is, you know, everyone I've spoken to is safe. Everyone I've spoken to has food. So I thank the various charities. I thank Team. I thank the little pantry on Skokerat, who's been providing food. This community has really come through this, through these tough times. And I just want to say I'm damn glad to be here.
Yeah, just to echo that, Tim Willis and Jim Baldwin, on top of, you know, our first responders, which goes without saying, but Tim Willis and Jim Baldwin did a lot of behind the scenes, kind of after the fact work to make sure that that building was properly secured. One of the first calls I got on Saturday was from David Morgan at Team, just offering any support or assistance that they could, which was certainly very helpful. So it was a great team effort to, you know, try to do all that we can. You know, from Timmy and Jim's perspective, it was trying to get that building as secure as soon as possible to allow residents to try to get back in, at least get belongings and get some stuff. So it was a great team effort, from the initial response from our fire, you know, police, ambulance, our first responder folks, right on through, you know, Jim Baldwin and Tim Willis. So that was certainly a good job. Al Bruno. Try to keep it under an hour.
I will.
Thank you.
Just want to just start off by asking folks, I think a lot of people are doing it, but if they can just show some patience with their kids, teachers and educators in this tough time. It's super stressful, and they're trying to put plans together. I see it at home. I hear it from friends of mine that are teachers, and I speak with them frequently. Our folks in Seymour, when I see them walking up at the track, it's a super stressful time. Everybody wants to do the right thing for kids and give parents a choice, and we're doing the hybrid thing, and just have a little patience for your people, and let's see how this goes first. I think the kids will step up. The adults are definitely going to do their thing, and I wish everybody the best with that, because God knows my son's going back to school and hopefully has a nice full term and he can stay and have fun. The other thing I wanted to say is thank you for everybody who came out to the Seymour High School girls soccer car wash on Sunday. If you didn't come out and you bought tickets, you know, it was greatly appreciated. They caught a beautiful day. I wanted to thank Diane Valdez, Mario Roxo, Victor Biblikosh, who has a sibling. He stayed all day. Victor is a Seymour High graduate, played on the boys team. He just stayed and helped the entire time. He didn't have to do that. He's really a great kid. And all the other parents who pitched in, but most importantly, the girls, they worked hard all day, and it was a great success. And I want to thank everybody for that. I know it's tough to get out to every fundraiser in town, but we had a really, really nice turnout because we caught a great day, and it was a lot of fun.
So Al, just to clarify, if you bought a ticket but were unable to make the car wash, they can bring the car to your house this weekend for a car wash. Is that correct?
Actually, if you read the back of the ticket, Mr. Miller, the time frame was 9 to 2. And once it was 2:01 p.m., you forfeited your right to the clean car. But I know it warms the cockles of your heart that you donated to the Lady Wildcats soccer team.
Yeah, it does. I got suckered in by Bruno's daughter. She caught me off guard.
Katie is.
But no, it was a good thing.
Finley, watch out, Finley. She's a good saleswoman.
Yeah. And just so you know, there is a picture floating around social media of Al with a hose rinsing off the cars.
I was rinsing all day.
Rory and I are currently working on that picture, and we'll be sending something out to all of you shortly.
You better keep it family oriented.
It'll be something special. Absolutely family oriented.
Oh, I'm sure.
It'll absolutely be rated G.
Good.
So thank you, Mr. Bruno. Rob, go ahead.
You can't say stuff like that right before I have to talk. That's
yeah.
Absolutely wanted to echo a lot of the sentiments that have been said so far today. A lot of activity for 2020, fire, first responders, and they've been handling everything amazing. So thank you to them. Also to piggyback off of what Chris Bone was saying as far as this community being amazing, we saw the flames. We were at Stop and Shop where there was a food drive happening from the Seymour DTC. That in of itself, I was honestly expecting with COVID and with how things are going to grab, 2 carriages of food would be a nice haul. And I did 3 full truckloads to Seymour Oxford. And meanwhile, we were coordinating with the Oxford DTC, so they were doing it at Market 32 as well. So they brought theirs over. So Oxford's nice, but Seymour, we kicked their ass. I mean, I don't know if we can say that, but the people in Seymour residents were just amazing with that $1,600 in cash, along with 3 truckloads of food. And we had a blood drive just a week ago over at the Land Trust. There's no people, even though they couldn't walk in, were trying to see if they could. So this community is just full to the brim with people looking out for each other. So it's wonderful. And I'm also looking forward to Al at the blood drive told me about his holiday hopes and some sort of festival of lights sort of thing where people could maybe drive or walk through distance. So I think keeping up that kind of enthusiasm, that sense of community through these times is going to be important. So I'm ready to support that however I can.
Oh, good. That means Rob will be helping as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be dressed as an elf. I'll just kind of come out from behind the tree. It'll be fun.
That's right.
So that, and then the last thing is following up with Eversource. As it's been said, we're not going to let that drop off. The community has to know that this was not a shake your fist and that's it. No, this is something that I especially know this board is going to stay on top of, because everybody here cares just as much as the residents care about each other. So thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you, Rob. So just to kind of wrap up, and Tommy left, but just to say thank you to the staff here, particularly our custodians. We're actually down one full-time custodian due to injury, but the work that the other 2.5 are doing is incredible. They're not complaining. They're just putting their head down, working, making sure that the buildings are clean, sanitized, up to the standards that we need to have them for COVID, to allow the people to be in here to work. So I just want to give them a little bit of a plug, because those guys have been working hard essentially since March to get these buildings up and running and doing what they're doing with no real end in sight. So I just wanted to throw a plug out to those guys. That's Tom, Alex, and Andrew Sikowski. Pat Duffy is unfortunately injured, so he's not able to work, but those guys are doing a great job. So I just wanted to throw that out. So with that, Rory, is there anything we've missed?
Well, it turns out I did get a public comment
Okay.
via the chat, but the file is damaged. So I asked it to be emailed to see if that would work.
Okay. If it is not, if we don't have it in time, then what we'll do is we will attach the printed copy to the minutes, and then we will reference it at the next Board of Selectmen meeting as correspondence. So it'll be in the minutes of this meeting as well as the packet in the minutes of the next meeting to make sure that that is taken care of.
Okay.
Rich, anything else?
Nothing
have?
else. No, I'm good.
Okay. So with that, again, what we're going to do is we're going to end the meeting. So we'll take a motion to do that. Hold on, Emery. And then, but don't disconnect, because what we're going to do is we're going to hold that meeting as Rich had discussed, but we need to have Rory go through and shut the recording off and close everyone out that does not need to be here. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:19. Motion by Anne Marie, second by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. So we'll close the meeting at 8:19 as stated. So Rory, if you want to shut off the recording,